are you feeling after that game? Are you happy? Are you glad you can come out from behind the sofa? I think we're all feeling a lot of emotions. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Doku Football channel. Welcome to the match reaction of Liverpool against Manchester City, where it was a pulsating game where the two heavyweights entertained in a 1-1 draw. And to join me to react to this game, I have MCFC Tone. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Yes, very good. Thanks. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Kind of relieved actually that we didn't go on and lose that game yesterday. We will obviously get into it. But how are you feeling going into that game to begin with?
Yeah, I don't like it when we have to go to Anfield. It's similar to Derby Day, but United are rubbish and Liverpool aren't. So I find it far more stressful, the Liverpool game, because we know it'll be tough. You had a few guys out as well. I kept saying before to people who were like, "Oh, City 3-4, 2 or 3-4, be fine." Never underestimate anyone, certainly not Liverpool at Anfield. So, before the game, probably would have taken a point even after the lineups. But yes, it's just always a tough game. It was different. We had Derby Day, was it last week or the week before? And I was fine. I just fully believed we'd win that game. But this one, always mixed. But yeah. A little more confident because of the lineups, but still tough game.
Yeah, I mean, when I've got to be honest, when the lineup did obviously come out, obviously for both sides, I think the main shock in the City side, I think, was no Diaz. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I was surprised, I'll be honest. Diaz is my favourite of the centre-backs. City got a luxurious position at centre-back, or across the defence, really. Certainly at centre-back, we've got great options. Gvardiol can play there, hasn't much for us. Stones, Diaz, Ake, again, he's been more out left. And I'm missing someone. Did I say Gvardiol? I can't remember. Akanji, Diaz, Stones. So we've got good options there. So I was a little surprised, but Akanji's been terrific for us this season. Arguably our best defender, to be honest. Him and Ake maybe switch up between one of them. So Akanji's also better than Diaz against pace. Diaz is probably the slowest of all the defenders that we've got, possibly. But Akanji, he's been terrific, but I still was surprised. I just thought it'd be Diaz Stones, because to me, those two are the best when they're together. And Diaz is more of a leader at the back than those others. He brings that leadership quality. You always see him, very similar to Van Dijk, talking to the other players, here, that sort of thing. So I was surprised, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I suppose when the Liverpool team came out, were you surprised to see no Salah?
Yes. I saw the Liverpool team, I think most did, 2 or 3 hours before kickoff, or maybe more. And I thought, there's no way that can be right. Not a chance Salah's on the bench. But he has just come back, I guess. So in the back of your mind, you're like, well, he's just returned. Maybe they're not 100% on giving him too much time. He come on for the last half hour, did he? I think yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's, in my view, he's your best player, certainly your most threatening player going forward. One of the Premier League great players. So I was very happy he was on the bench, but I knew he'd come on.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. We'll just go into the chat, because I did see some, there has been a few comments. Hey, Douglas, frustrating one. Liverpool had chances to win the game before the non-call. We will get onto that. How that wasn't even looked at is beyond me. I heard even Arsenal United supporters said pen. Should be happy with that. City got away with one. Yeah, I'm not so sure. And I will explain in a wee minute. Hello, Rich. Hope you're all right as well. I will get to that very, very soon. Hey, Rich. Sam, I am. Hello. We needed someone to cope with pace. Diaz is the best at that. That is fair enough. And Rich saying hi to Spencer. Yeah, the first half. went to plan, I think. Were you surprised how well you actually played in that first half?
I'll be honest, I didn't think we played particularly well first half. I was happy we went 1-up. First 10 minutes were terrific. Absolutely terrific. Crowd was quiet. We took control of the game. Barely gave Liverpool a sniff. We had a couple of chances. Haaland, nice couple of layoffs, and Foden, a little bit of room. And it was like, okay. De Bruyne as well, causing havoc between the lines. Just for that 10, 12 minutes. And then I don't know. We're obviously playing a very good team. So, I credit Liverpool more than hammering City. But I thought City were pretty, I'd say average first half. I'll be kind and say average. But there was no real rhythm after that. The passing was poor. Even players like Rodri, John Stones, who didn't have bad games, but even their passing seemed off. And John Stones threw his arms in the air because Rodri misplaced a pass. And it was a bizarre half for City. So first half, I thought we were average, to be honest. I wasn't particularly happy at half time. Obviously, we were 1-up. Very happy score. Performance-wise, not particularly. No.
Yeah, I think you started really well, and obviously you had early chances with obviously Alvarez. It was a very, very good save from Kelleher, and then De Bruyne has an opportunity. Is he attempting to chip Kelleher, or is he trying to look for Foden? Do you think?
Foden. I think on the slow motion, it looks like it's like his foot has gone into the ground too early, and it's gone the other way. I mean, to be fair, that does go in because it wasn't a million miles away. If that goes in, he's probably saying, "Oh yeah," and no one would discount it because he is so good. He's, in my view, the best player in the Premier League for, certainly the last sort of 10 years, I would say, maybe. If he puts that in that there, no one's really surprised. But no, I think he meant it to the back post.
Yeah, and then obviously he came on to us again because De Bruyne had a shot. Kelleher, weird save. It was like he sort of parried it away, and then we go up the other end. Bradley puts a really, really low cross where Darwin Nuñez, I hope he's okay because he collides into the post. He's sliding in trying to get there, and he collides into the post. And then what we saw really was from sort of City sort of going onto us, and then obviously Haaland does really, really well. It's obviously from that chance where he had where Van Dijk basically heads it away, and obviously the corner where you score from. Yeah. I mean, do you think that was something you put on the training ground, that goal? Because it was a very well worked corner.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think City had seen there was a weakness perhaps at that near post. Liverpool defend corners. Yeah, there's no doubt Ake knew exactly what he was doing as well. So that was most definitely a planned corner, brilliantly executed. There's probably not many that could execute it. I think it's Gary Neville, wasn't it? He was raving about it looks easy, put it into the near post, no one there. It isn't. You've got to get the right speed and so on it. It was a wonderful ball, wonderful cross, nice finish. Yeah, it was a lovely goal. Really, really nice goal, but most certainly planned, to answer your question. Definitely planned, yeah.
Yeah, and the most unlikely of goal scorers in John Stones, and especially back at Anfield, ex-Evertonian. You'll enjoy that one.
Yeah, he's a terrific player, John Stones. He's one of those that he is a great player, but he would be, if he'd avoided, not injuries total, but so many injuries, he would just be up there, right up there with the best centre-backs that have been in the Premier League. Injuries have unfortunately scuppered maybe him being talked about amongst the very best at the very, very top. But he is world-class, John Stones. And yeah, it's good he scored. I'm absolutely delighted, as you say. He'll be happy because he was at Everton, wasn't he? But yeah, wonderful player, and he's growing as well because he's pushing forward more into the centre mid. Yeah, terrific player. Love John Stones. One of my favourite players.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And then obviously after the goal, we do have another chance. Szoboszlai, I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's got sort of more time on that he actually has, where Bradley picks him out, and instead of like sort of headering it, I think he mistimes his jump at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think if we're being critical, I think he should have done better with that header. But I think the and then obviously we had Holland against Van Dijk, and we all know about that very, very good battle. And I have to say that was a very, very good battle between them two, Holland and Van Dijk. I have to say, Kelleher did really, really well, but I think Van Dijk does really, really well to keep up with Holland at that chance.
Yeah, he did. I was actually a little surprised Haaland got round, because he got round fairly quick. Like, he knocked it to his left, and I was like, oh, hang on, he's in. But Van Dijk did do well, and it just a body movement that just shifted Haaland a little bit more left just before he hit it. So you're talking about one of the best strikers in the world, one of the best centre-backs in the world. Haaland was fairly quiet, really, but they're two of the best players in the world in their position. And that was brilliant to see, though. And both of them in that moment showed their qualities. Haaland to burst past with the initial, still get the shot away, and Van Dijk just to give that there was just a slight little body movement he did that just lifted Haaland away from getting a real clear-cut opportunity.
Yeah, no, it was very, very good. And then obviously Diaz, yeah. What shall I say about Diaz? Look, I think he was very, very good yesterday. He was very, very good. That effort that was just wide from Ederson. He obviously picks up the ball on the left hand side, goes past, I think it's Walker, and then Rodri, and then hits a shot, and obviously it goes wide. And then obviously the halftime whistle comes after that. I mean, at halftime, what were you thinking at that point?
In terms of City performance and so on?
Yeah.
Not particularly. I was happy with the score, but not really the performance. Deep down, I didn't believe we were going to win. I certainly wouldn't have believed it if we'd have played the same level in the second half. We had to be better. I had to believe we were going to be better. Unfortunately, I know we'll probably come to it, we most definitely did not get better in the second half. So I was really disappointed with them yesterday. And it's rare, very rare, I'm quite down on City. In fact, I get called the complete opposite, deluded for, if we draw at home to Palace, try and look at the positives and so on. But this one, just the performance, the score's fine. But at half-time was disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to the half-time, I thought, right, okay, second half FC are gonna come out because from our, I think there was a stat actually. I think we've recovered from the most losing positions this season. So I always had the feeling at half-time that we would come back. But I mean, the worst possible start, the best possible start if you're a Liverpool fan, but the worst possible start as a City fan.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just self-destruction. I mean, Ake plays a really bad back pass, and Darwin Nuñez, credit to him, goes and nicks the ball. And Ederson, do you think he should come out with his hands?
I'll be honest. I think if he leaves it, it's easy to say now with replays and and all that sort of thing and slow motion and all this. I love Ederson. I wouldn't change him for anybody for the way we play. But he is rash, there's no doubt. He did it against United where it was not a foul, but Garnacho went clear and he won the ball. But, it's this close, and it is this close. And Ederson always is on that line. Sometimes he just gets bored. You can see him looking around like, doo-doo-doo, and then he'll think, sod this, spice this game up a bit. But yesterday was a bit different because obviously Liverpool attacked us more. the ball from Ake was poor and put Ederson in a bad position. So the main fault, in my view, lies with Ake because it's a bad ball. If it's not a bad ball, there's no problem. Ederson isn't caught. Ederson does something rash he doesn't need to do. I think the ball's maybe going out. Or if Nuñez keeps it in, he's still at an angle where he's got to do something pretty special to score or square it. So, I blame Ake. But Ederson was rash, most certainly rash with a tackle. And the way Nuñez did his half a cartwheel, I think, over the thing was quite funny. But it's a clear penalty. I saw somebody saying it wasn't. Just what I mean, I don't know. I can't remember who it was. It's one of the most obvious penalties going. And no one argued it, bar that one person I saw.
Yeah, and obviously Ederson is actually hurt in the process. What is the latest on Ederson?
There was something out earlier I saw. I think it was based on the initial diagnosis. There's another word better than that. 3 to 5 weeks, somebody said. I'd heard actually he should be back for Arsenal and it's not as bad as first feared. But he hadn't had the tests until late morning. So, because there was some pictures and so on, or mid to late morning, I think. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay and back for Arsenal. If not, very soon after, I would imagine. But, yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. I've just heard it's not as bad as first feared.
Yeah, I think that's a big boost because I think look, I think Ortega, like I'm a big fan of Ortega. I watched a lot of the Bundesliga and I remember him at Arminia Bielefeld and he was a fantastic goalkeeper. I think he was probably their player of the season at one point as well. So I always kind of knew that Ortega would obviously come on and have a good game, and we certainly did as well. Ederson goes the right way for the McAllister penalty as well, Tone. I mean, 1-1. What were you thinking at that point?
It didn't surprise me it went 1-1 based on what I saw first half and the way we've been so sloppy. At that point, what was I thinking at 1-1? Just see the next 10 minutes through because it was obvious you were just going to pick up, crowds picked up, everyone's on it, and you did. And Diaz, was it Diaz or Nuñez should have scored? I think possibly Diaz. So at that point, it's hang on for 10-15, settle it down a bit. It didn't really happen, and I think we got a bit lucky the following 10 minutes. We didn't concede another one.
Yeah, and the pass of the game, I think Salah down to Diaz and one-on-one with obviously Ortega, and he puts it away. That was one of, I think, 5 chances. I mean, on another day, Luis Diaz probably scores about a couple of them. But yesterday, his finishing, I think, to be honest, our finishing let us down yesterday.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I've no doubt. That's why I said after the game, performance-wise, not happy at all. Result-wise, delighted based on what I'd seen. I could not be happier because we didn't deserve anything from the game, I'll be honest. And it's rare to say City don't deserve. We do, even when we've lost or drawn, we do tend to deserve to win games because we tend to outplay our opponent. Shots, possession, all that sort of thing, and missed chances and all that. But yesterday, no, flip, absolutely. Diaz, I think Liverpool got some very good attacking players. I'm not a massive fan of Diaz. I think he's one, and yesterday he probably showed why. He's dangerous because of his pace and so on, but he most certainly should be scoring at least 2 of those he's had. So thank you, Luis Diaz, on behalf of us City fans for missing those.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Julian Alvarez is an interesting one. Look, I'm a big fan of Julian Alvarez, but you were very critical of Julian Alvarez yesterday.
Yeah, I think a lot of Blues were. I was on a City show last night, and the host was. I didn't lay into him per se, but just said how bad he was, and he was. I thought it was really, really poor. I like Alvarez. His record speaks for itself. Scores, assists, World Cup winner. He's won every trophy, I think. 6 trophies, including the World Cup, and He's a top player. There's no question in it. The thing is, he's being played out of position, and he certainly was yesterday. He played on the left, and we discussed this on this show, so this isn't all my doing here, but he played on the left against Copenhagen, but more inverted, whereas yesterday he was on the left and on the left. It's similar to what Jack Grealish does when he plays. He's on the left and he stays left. Excuse me. So I thought he was poor. I thought he was slow on the ball, careless on the ball, cost Rodri a yellow card, cost us on I think 3 counters. Someone said he lost the ball 13 times. I don't know if that's accurate. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him because he's being played out of position, which Pep loves to do with players anyway. But he wouldn't have started if Grealish was fit and firing. Grealish would most definitely have started that game. But he was poor, Alvarez. He wasn't the only one, by the way, but he was poor yesterday. Yeah, sadly for us.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And the other thing as well was, I think we've got away with on this one. Kelleher parries. Foden doesn't know anything about it. Basically goes off Foden and hits the top of the crossbar. I thought, we got away with one there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that one because I thought very quickly, I thought it was just going to fly over because it looked, and then suddenly clang off the bar, which, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's not really the keeper's fault. Foden, like you said, knows nothing. It's just one of those sort of freak ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, he obviously had another chance where Kelleher again. Kelleher has been absolutely magnificent recently since he's came in. Since obviously Alisson got injured, and obviously Kelleher was fantastic in the cup final. He was fantastic against Nottingham Forest. I thought he was really good. Good yesterday. Spreads himself really well and saves really well from Phil Foden. And then I think the changes kind of. When you brought off De Bruyne, and obviously when you brought off Alvarez as well, you brought on obviously Kovacic, who I was surprised he didn't start Kovacic. Like, always seems to have a good game against us.
Oh, Kovacic is terrific. I love Kovacic. In fact, I would say 2 of the best performances in a City shirt this season have come from Kovacic. One of them was at a game I was at home to Newcastle back in August. I think he's terrific. He's been a bit unlucky of injuries, and if he hadn't had those injuries, he would probably be more in the first team much more consistently than he is. I think he'll start at the weekend against Newcastle in the Cup. He's brilliant, and the lineup pretty much every City fan had was Kovacic in the middle and Foden out on the left. And I think many of us were surprised when we saw Alvarez out and on the left and Kovacic on the bench, because what do you do when you go to Anfield? Try to control the game. Who's one of the best at controlling the game? Kovacic. You have a midfield of Kovacic, De Bruyne, Rodri with Foden inverting and so on. Much more controlled. I was staggered Kovacic didn't start. That one threw me more than Diaz, to be honest.
Yeah, I was really surprised not to see Kovacic from the very, very start, and you almost take the lead. I mean, Doku does really, really well. I think it's actually a very good play from Ake to begin with. Finds Doku, and Doku's up against Gomez and hits a really low shot that goes off the outside of the post and into Kelleher's grateful arms. I thought, again, we got away with it. I was saying throughout this game, the more chances we have, the more we're just going to let you guys have one and go up and score. And obviously the Doku one was almost the clincher.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, Doku. Doku, come on. He's berated quite often, Doku, by some parts of the fan base. He seems to be the fall guy at the moment. And he's raw. We knew what we were signing when we got him. I think is he 21, around that area. He's a young lad. He's definitely got attributes, no doubt, talent, ability, all of that. But he is still raw. But he did very well. I thought he did quite well when he come on a few times down that left. And I thought he had Gomez. Was it Gomez out there with him? No, am I thinking of someone else? Who was it Gomez at the time? Possibly.
It was Gomez, yeah.
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 So I thought he did well up against Gomez in the 2 or 3 times, certainly the one that hit the post. So, it was a decent chance, and I thought he did well to sort of get as close as he did from the angle he was at. So I was quite happy with Doku. Defensively, he needs to work a lot harder, but attacking-wise, he's a talent, no doubt.
Yeah, I actually remember his first game. I think it was against Bournemouth at the Etihad. I think he did. I think he was 4 assists and 1 goal. Like, that's not a that's not a bad debut to have.
Yeah, that's it. And against Bournemouth that day, he was frightening. He's another one who got injured at the wrong time and had a month or so out. 6 weeks, maybe. It was a little while anyway. So that knocked him back. And it's strange, really, because he's often up against 2 players. Liverpool did it yesterday, where they put 2, as soon as Doku gets the ball, 2 men on him straight away, because if you leave him with 1, he's going to scoot right past. And that shows he is a danger if you're putting 2 on him. You do the same with Grealish, always has 2, even 3 men on him for different reasons. He won't run past you, but for different reasons for Grealish. But Doku, I thought was fine attacking wise, but he's still learning, still raw.
Absolutely. And then right at the end, now we will come on to this because I have seen there is a few comments in the chat. Mac Allister, Doku. I'll be honest. When I saw this at the time, I thought just a coming together. I thought Doku had obviously got the ball. The more you see it, he is running the risk of a penalty being given there. What was your take on that decision?
When I first saw it, I thought the same as you, like a clash. I thought there's nothing to that. And then I saw the replay, and I turned to my other half and I said, "That's penalty. That is a penalty." And I always try and think, what would I be thinking if it was the other way around? And I would be screaming for a penalty. I have seen it after. It is one of those where City fans, I would probably say 70% of what I've seen City fans have said it's a penalty. And around 30% have said absolutely not. Mac Allister's gone into him. Doku's apparently touched the ball. And as Mac Allister's come in, it's that clash that causes it. It's a tricky one, and I'm going to get called biased and so on. I'm sure there's people in chat going, "Bloody City fan," but I don't. I think it's a real tough one to call. It's one of those. If it's a penalty, I wouldn't be moaning too much because it could well have been, but it's a real tough one to call. That one. It's one of the toughest calls because it's certainly not intentional, but his foot is high, but his foot's high because the ball's high. And Mac Allister, as he's putting his foot up, is not there at that point of when the clash happens. So it's a real tough one. I think it's maybe the right decision, but I'd understand it if it was a penalty. And I'm sorry if people in the chat are saying deluded City fan bias and all the rest of it. I apologise. But yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, anywhere else on the pitch, I think that's a foul. I think, regardless of like how high the foot is, I think it is a foul, and I do think a yellow card would have been shown there. But I can understand from the point of view that yes, it is a tough decision to make. I mean, what did you make of Michael Oliver's referee performance yesterday? I didn't think he had a particularly bad game. Maybe missed a couple of things, but yeah, what did you think?
Well, one of the things I often get criticised for is how much I moan about refs, and I didn't yesterday. I know people go, "That's because you got away with a penalty," but yeah, I outside of that, I didn't really think he did anything wrong. I don't recall anything jumping out where I thought, "Bloody Michael Oliver." I don't recall even thinking about the referee during the game once. So. Credit where it's due. In my view, I thought he had a very good game. I thought the ref did. Michael Oliver did really well.
Yeah, I think he did as well. And 1-1 in the end. I mean, obviously Arsenal will be the happier of the three. Don't look on X, because the AFTV lot have decided that basically it's lonely at the top. Well, yeah, Arsenal and Liverpool are on the same amount of points. You've just got a better goal difference. But where do you think this leaves both sides, Tone? Do you think? Because if you want my honest opinion, I still think it's between both of us for the league, because we're still expecting that Arsenal drop off at some point. What do you think about this title race?
Yeah, just quickly there, AFTV is very lonely, winning 5 trophies in 2023 as well. And when you guys do it, you can get back on your channel and start giving it large. And obviously your boys have won the Champ League and so on. So I think we're a tad ahead of someone being a point clear now in March. Where do I see it? I think it's, yes, our main threat will be Liverpool, in my view, down the end. I sent a tweet out earlier saying I'm still not totally convinced with Arsenal, and I know people say they've won 4, 5, 6 and all the rest of it. And look, the last month they've been better than our two teams in terms of performance and results. I'd say Arsenal have been the best.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think you'd find many that would probably argue that. Who cares? It's what are we on, March the whatever it is, 10th, 11th. It doesn't matter so much now. Arsenal were about 8 clear at this point last year, with about 9 or 10 games to go, what have you. So Arsenal been here before, we've been here before, and we always hear this of Arsenal. Now they could well win the title. They've got a shot, but I would say City are marginal, and I mean marginal favourites, then Liverpool, and then Arsenal. But then if Arsenal go and win at our place at the end of the month, then suddenly it completely switches. But I don't. Well, I'm more in hope, really. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't see it happening. But look, they're a good team, but Liverpool and City are the 2 best teams in the Premier League, in my opinion, and that will be the top 2 at the end of the season. I don't know which way. But I think the draw wasn't awful for either side. I just think, I think Liverpool will be more disappointed because of how poor we were, that we were there for the taking yesterday, without any doubt at all. We should have been beaten. And I do wonder if Klopp and the players and so on are thinking, shit, missed an opportunity.
Yeah, I am kind of feeling that way. I do actually have this picture because this is actually the run-ins for the 3 teams. It will come up. It will come up very, very
very nice.
Very soon. Let me just try that again. Let me see. How's that came up? It's very, very slow on my end. Let's read some comments, and it'll come up. It'll come up very, very soon. Curlers in, hello, Curlers. How that was not a pen at the end is criminal. I mean, look at how high the foot is. Spence, you've got it. You've got it. Yeah, it must be there.
I can see the fixtures.
It will come on. Oh, not sure what happened there. I just decided to freeze on me. But yes, hopefully this will work. Yes, here we go. Right. This is the run-ins for the 3 teams. Now, obviously, looking at that, obviously this weekend there's obviously the FA Cup, because Arsenal don't have a game, because obviously Chelsea have played Leicester. Our game against Everton is going to be moved as well, and then obviously City away to Brighton. Now, when I look at this, Aston Villa are definitely going to be one for the run in, because both of these have all three teams actually have to play Villa at some point. Who do you think's got the easier running, Tone?
Easiest, possibly Liverpool. I think City's final 4 games, if City are top or around that area with 4 to go, I'd fancy us to win the league from there, because Liverpool then have tougher games. Overall, I would, although I am looking at that, and yeah, to see, I actually look at that, and I don't think Arsenal's run's particularly bad, although they come to us. That's the problem for them, really. But and then they got Tottenham. I think all 3 of us can still drop points. And I know people said, oh, someone's going to win all these games. I don't think they're going to. I look down our fixture list. We've got Arsenal, Villa at home in the space of about 4 days. That's tough. We go to Palace, notoriously tough for us at Palace. Tottenham away is horrendous for us. And then on paper, it's not so bad. But it's very tough to predict now, because you've got Forest away, City, I mean, and they'll be fighting relegation. Arsenal lost at Forest at that time last season, or a bit closer to the end. So it's very, very tricky. Your boys have got to go to United. Okay, they're terrible, but they may give you a game. West Ham away may not be easy. Yeah. Tottenham home, they'll be fighting for top 4 or top 5. Villa away, tricky game. Yeah. And Arsenal got Tottenham away, City away, United away, Villa home. So, yeah, all tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I look at this, and I'm going to be honest, I think the United game away on the second last day for Arsenal is going to be so tough, because if they don't win that, then I've got to say that I think they lose that, then they go into the Everton game knowing that they'll have to look. I think there's going to be loads of twists and turns between now and the end of the season.
Yeah,
and as well Europa League and obviously Champions League in the mix. But it's going to be a fascinating run-in. And what I will say is, I like you said there, Tone, I do think both teams are not going to get maximum points from those 10 games. But what I will say, this season is nothing like what we've seen before. 3 teams fighting for the title. It's going to go down to the very, very wire. But we shall see what happens. And yeah, that City Arsenal game, I mean, you know, if you thought Liverpool City was a massive game, that is even more bigger.
Yeah. Oh my Lord. Yeah, it's huge now, and City are in a position where they can't drop. Arsenal the same, really, in that game. Neither team can afford to lose. But yeah, I think City being home's big. City being in these positions far more than Arsenal is big. And I think and hope we will win. And I think if we do, I think that's big for Arsenal's mentality as well, because it perhaps proves they're still not ready at that point. And I would then, if Arsenal do lose that game, I think then Arsenal would drop more points along the way for sure. And then it would be between City and Liverpool. In my view, that's still the 2 best teams. Very close call there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we shall find out what it will be. Very, very close. Tone, thank you very much for coming on. I know we've been trying to get you on for a while. We obviously tried to get you on for the match preview, didn't quite happen, but we obviously got you on for the match reaction. I really do appreciate you coming on. And obviously people go find Tone on X as well. And obviously if you have enjoyed today's stream, please do leave a like on the video, and obviously go and follow Tone on X. I hate saying X. We all know it's Twitter. We all know it's Twitter. You've got yourself into a few pods recently, haven't you?
Yeah, a few City ones, sorry. Yeah, I'm on LB's show, City. He's terrific. I'm on with him, and there's a couple of others dotting around. So, yeah, there's... you had Laura on, didn't you? Was it Friday you had Laura on? It was Friday, wasn't it, when I was out? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Friday,
Laura and
yeah.
I. Yeah. So Laura and I are just having a chat maybe about doing something. So around YouTube or something or other. So we might have a quick look at that for the future, which would be good to come back because I like working with Laura. She's great. So that'd be really good to do.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you everyone in the chat for watching as well. And yeah, let us know what you think about this title race. Let me know what you think both sides are in the action. And yeah, obviously City against Arsenal in a couple of weeks. There's going to be twists and turns, but 10 points, 10 games to go, 30 points to play for. We shall see what happens. But from myself and Tone, it is goodbye, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now.